Okay, so this is a video response to, I believe that's Dallased, DALLASED 25. I'm sorry if I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. And the real bread, who responded to a video and some comments that I made concerning um, the Big Bang Theory and concerning believing, etc., etc., and as the real bread put it, yada yada yada. There were a couple things I wanted to say, and that's the reason why I'm addressing this by video and not by posted comment. There were a couple of things that I wanted to say. Um, One of which, well, first of all, let me read the comment here, and I'm going to address the Dallas um, points first. And he writes, the point is that you realize that with with the truth that there is no afterlife, life becomes that much more precious because you only get one. And yes, you should use your time more constructively because of that fact, rather than wasting valuable time and money in church. I have more purpose in my life now than I ever did as a believer. Additionally, on the Big Bang Theory, you are incorrect. Well, first, let me go back to that. Well, maybe you wasted your time and maybe you wasted your money. But my time and my money spent in church, I don't feel is a waste. Number one, because I enjoy my time in worship. Maybe you didn't enjoy your time worshiping, but I enjoy mine. I enjoy the music. I enjoy the singing. I enjoy the ministry, the words of encouragement, the enlightenment of the Word of God. Now, and there again, maybe you didn't understand the Word, or maybe whatever the case that that you didn't grasp as a believer. That's I won't even speculate on that because it's I wasn't there. I mean, but I do know that there have been a lot of Christians, former Christians here on YouTube that talk about their experience as a believer, and from their statements, what I've gathered is that most of them had a church experience, but they never had a real God experience. And that's just an observation. I have no idea what you've experienced, okay? So I'm not even going to speculate on that. I'm just going to say that most of the people that I've viewed and watched here on YouTube that have talked about being former Christians never learned the art of relationship with God. Most of them, I don't know your personal situation, and I want to stress that. So I'm not being critical of you personally. I'm just saying that's been my observation, and it truthfully has. There again, I want to say that the time that I spend in church is not wasted, okay? Not to me, because guess what? The value of anyone's time is the value they assign to it. So if you assign the value of the time you spend in church as a waste, then for you, that's exactly what it was. So I want to stress that the value of anyone's time is the value, or the measure of anyone's time. The value of their time is the value they assign to it. Only you can assign value to the time that you spend. So for me, my time in church is beautiful, man. I love it. I go to church, I sing, I play the keyboards, the organs, the guitar, the drums from time to time. I enjoy myself. I enjoy the company of believers. I mean, just like some people would enjoy going to a club. Yeah, would you say? I mean, hey, if they had fun, they spent their money. Was their time wasted, or did they actually do what they went there to do? I mean, I guess there again, it's the value that you assign to it. And as far as my money goes, well, that's a matter of the church itself. The money that I contribute to my church is spent very constructively. Not only does it give us as believers a place to worship and to fellowship, but it also helps those that are homeless. It also helps the indigent and those that can't get out, the elderly. We have youth and young adult programs. It helps keep teens and young adults and kids out of trouble. It helps troubled youths from all facets and walks of life. Um, and there again, like I said, it gives us a place to fellowship and worship. So, my time and money, it is my time and money um, more constructively spent doing something else? I think not. So maybe yours was. Hey, that. Like I said, that comes down to the church that you were a part of. It comes down to the value that you've assigned to your time. To your point, time and money is much more precious than to be spent in church. I think not. Now, you also said, additionally, on the Big Bang Theory, you are incorrect. No scientist says that nothing exploded. Creationists say that to confuse the issue since most people are too lazy to look it up. Big Bang simply means that there was a point of origin that created our universe, but says nothing about what was before that. Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. Therefore, it has always been. And you go on to say that I might want to read up on that. Well, guess what? I've done some reading and I've checked into. First of all, let me just stress the fact that, excuse me, my arm's tired. Let me just stress the fact that when I what I was saying there wasn't a quote, and I think I made that very obvious when I said, the whole catch 22 of the Big Bang Theory is just, to me, it doesn't make sense. Um, obviously, you took what I said quite literal, and so, and let me reassure you, I was being figurative, and I have read up on the Big Bang Theory, and I have watched some videos, a video or two here on YouTube, not just by creationists, but by atheists. I've watched some of Nick Gisburn's postings and some other people that have made some postings here on YouTube about creationism versus evolution. And they make some fascinating points. My point is simply this, and the point that I was making in that video, I want to say, it was, like I said, it wasn't meant to be literal. It was a very figurative point. The point is, as you quoted, and I'll go from your quote, since you say that my quote was inaccurate. The Big Bang Theory simply says that there was a point of origin that created our universe, but says nothing about what was before that. Now, that was simply my point. My point was, if if something was there and you say it was matter, quote unquote, right? If something was there, something had to put it there. It had to come from somewhere. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. It simply is. Well, if it simply is, where did it come from? It had to start somewhere. Okay? Now, creationists say creation simply says that in the beginning, God created the matter that was there. Okay. Um, where did God come from? Well, kind of like you're saying with matter, he was just always there. He's God. So where did matter come from? Is matter God? Can it always be there? I think not. So that's the difference in what we're saying. As I said, it was meant to be figurative, not quite so literal. But since you want a literal explanation, that would be it. Now, the real bread, you said. I guess I see inventing a story as limiting because your story has no proof or evidence. So you're just making up whatever and saying this is true. So long as you leave that in you, I have no problem. But once you start telling other people what you made up is real, and then you stop there. Okay. Um, First of all, I want to. I got to tell you, I don't quite understand what your comment is trying to say, and I'm not. I'm really. I'm like I said. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't really understand the point that you're trying to make. So, if you want to do another reply to this video, or if you want to do a video response, or even a an audio response, I'll be happy to listen